Assalamu alaikum, and a warm and gracious welcome to Hidayah. As we journey through the profound societal teachings of Islam, we seek not just to inform but to inspire a vision of a just and compassionate world. If this vision resonates with you, please join and support our community by subscribing and following the channel. Let us be part of a growing movement that embodies Islamic principles in action. Today, we illuminate one of the most revolutionary and defining pillars of our faith, the system of social justice and wealth distribution crystallized in the obligation of Zakat. To speak of Zakat merely as charity or a 2.5% tax is to profoundly understate its purpose. It is the beating heart of Islamic economics and social ethics. It is a divinely mandated, systematic mechanism designed to annihilate poverty, prevent the destructive concentration of wealth, and cultivate a society bound not by class resentment, but by mutual responsibility and divine brotherhood. In a world of staggering inequality where billionaires orbit the earth while children starve, Islam presents not a suggestion but a commanded structural solution. Zakat is not a favor the rich bestow upon the poor. It is the unequivocal right of the poor in the wealth of the rich. Allah declares, وَفِي أَمْوَالِهِمْ حَقٌّ مَعْلُومٌ لِلسَّائِلِ وَالْمُحَرَّمِ. And in their wealth is a known right for the petitioner and the deprived. This known right is zakat. It is not optional generosity. It is a debt owed to society and to God, a purification of one's wealth and soul. To understand zakat's power, we must first diagnose the spiritual disease it cures, greed and the illusion of absolute ownership. The human tendency, fed by capitalism and materialism, is to say, "This is my money. I earned it. I can do whatever I want with it." Islam shatters this illusion at its foundation. The Quran constantly reminds us that true ownership belongs only to Allah. We are merely trustees, custodians. Wealth is a test and an amana, trust. Hoarding wealth, therefore, is not just a social ill, it is a spiritual failure, a form of disobedience. The Quran warns with severe imagery, وَالَّذِينَ يَكْنِزُونَ الذَّهَبَ وَالْفِضَّةَ وَلَا يُنْفِقُونَهَا فِي سَبِيلِ اللَّهِ فَبَشِّرْهُم بِعَذَابٍ أَلِيمٍ يَوْمَ يُحْمَى عَلَيْهَا فِي نَارِ جَهَنَّمَ فَتُكْوَى بِهَا جِبَاهُهُمْ وَجُنُوبُهُمْ وظهورهم هذا ما كنزتم لأنفسكم فذوقوا ما كنتم تكنزون. And those who hoard gold and silver and do not spend it in the way of Allah, give them tidings of a painful punishment, the day when it will be heated in the fire of hell, and seared therewith will be their foreheads, their flanks, and their backs. And it will be said, "This is what you hoarded for yourselves, so taste what you used to hoard." This powerful imagery is not against wealth creation, but against wealth stagnation, against the act of removing capital from circulation in the body politic of the Ummah, where it should serve as a lifeblood. Zakat is the spiritual and economic antidote to this hoarding. By mandating an annual redistribution, it forces wealth to flow, to circulate, to be productive for the entire community. The mechanics of zakat are a masterpiece of divine sociology. It is calculated with precision on savings, business assets, livestock, agricultural produce, and precious metals after a minimum threshold nisab is met, making it predictable and enforceable. But its brilliance lies in its 8 categories of recipients, explicitly outlined in the Quran. إِنَّمَا الصَّدَقَاتُ لِلْفُقَرَاءِ وَالْمَسَاكِينِ وَالْعَامِلِينَ عَلَيْهَا والمؤلفة قلوبهم وفي الرقاب والغارمين وفي سبيل الله وابن السبيل فريضة من الله والله عليم حكيم. Zakat expenditures are only for the poor and the needy, and for those employed to administer it, and for bringing hearts together for Islam, and for freeing captives or slaves, and for those in debt, and for the cause of Allah, and for the stranded traveler, an obligation from Allah, and Allah is knowing and wise. Let us unpack this divine social safety net. It begins with the immediate alleviation of suffering. The fuqara, the destitute, who have nothing, and the masakin, the needy, who have some but not enough to meet basic needs. It then recognizes the need for administration by paying the workers who collect and distribute it, ensuring the system itself is functional. Astonishingly, it includes for bringing hearts together, a category for social cohesion, potentially for non-Muslims in the community, to foster goodwill and harmony. It allocates funds for freeing captives, a direct investment in human liberty. It addresses those in debt, preventing families from being crushed by financial burdens and keeping them productive members of society. It supports the cause of Allah, which scholars interpret as including community welfare, education, and legitimate defense. Finally, it cares for the stranded traveler, a beautiful expression of universal responsibility for any human in distress within the Muslim society sphere. This is not a handout system. It is a holistic investment in human dignity, social stability, and communal strength. Beyond zakat is the broader realm of sadaqah, voluntary charity. While zakat is the obligated minimum, sadaqah is the spirit of generosity let loose. The Prophet, peace be upon him, said, "Charity extinguishes sin as water extinguishes fire." Every act of kindness is sadaqah, a smile removing a harmful object from the road, giving good advice. This cultivates a society where generosity is the default culture, not an annual chore. Then there is sadaqah jariyah, ongoing charity like building a well, a school, a hospital, or planting a tree, whose reward continues to flow to the donor long after their death, creating an incentive for sustainable infrastructural giving that benefits generations. The prohibition of riba, usury, interest, is the essential counterpart to this system of giving. If zakat forces wealth to flow downward and outward, riba is a mechanism that sucks wealth upward and concentrates it. It allows money to beget money without productive labor or shared risk, creating perpetual debt traps for the poor and massive, unearned accumulation for the rich. The Quran declares a war between the principles of zakat and riba. Yamhaqullahu riba wa yurbi sadaqat. Allah destroys interest and gives increase for charities. Riba corrodes the soul of society. It breeds selfishness and exploitation. Zakat and sadaqah nurture its soul. They breed compassion and solidarity. An Islamic economic model is built on risk-sharing partnerships, mudaraba, musharaka, ethical trade, and the prohibition of exploitative contracts, ensuring that the financial system itself is aligned with justice. The social justice mandated by Islam culminates in a vision of a community where poverty is not just managed, but actively eradicated. The Caliph Umar ibn Abdulaziz, within 2 years of implementing zakat collection and distribution faithfully, it is reported that his agents could not find enough poor people to give the funds to. This is the Islamic ideal. A society so functionally just that the category of zakatable poor disappears. It stands in stark contrast to models where charity is a philanthropic afterthought, leaving the root causes of inequality, exploitative systems, intact. In Islam, justice is built into the system's DNA. For us today, this teaching is a profound call to action and accountability. It asks us, are we calculating and paying our zakat with sincerity and accuracy? Or are we neglecting this pillar? Are our mosques and Islamic institutions transparent and effective in collecting and distributing zakat, or does mismanagement break the trust? Beyond the obligation, are we cultivating a spirit of sadaqah in our daily lives? Are we supporting ethical, interest-free financial alternatives? Are we, as communities, organizing to ensure no family in our locality goes hungry, no student's education is halted by debt, and no one faces a crisis alone? This is the embodied faith Islam demands. It tells us that worship is incomplete if our neighbor is starving, that our fasting in Ramadan is meant to make us feel the pangs of hunger so that we are moved to feed others. The Prophet, peace be upon him, said, "He is not a believer who eats his fill while his neighbor beside him is hungry." This is the core of Islamic social justice, a belief system that is inextricably linked to the material and emotional well-being of the collective. By fulfilling the rights of others upon our wealth, we purify that wealth. We protect our society from the revolutions born of desperation, and we build a civilization that is a reflection of divine mercy on earth. Let us be a people known not just for our prayers, but for our justice, not just for our fasting, but for our generosity. A people who have mastered the sacred circulation of wealth for the pleasure of its true owner. Thank you for your commitment to growth. May Allah grant you beneficial knowledge, the strength to act upon it, and make you amongst those who hear the word and follow the best of it. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.